Mabuhay! My name is Nelissa Jamora. I am an agriculture economist and the coordinator of the Gene Bank Impacts Fellowship Program with support from the CGIAR Gene Bank Platform and the Crop Trust. I co-run this program with Melinda Smale, Professor of International Development at Michigan State University. I am very pleased to have the opportunity to present here today and thank the Global Landscape Forum for providing this platform. With the onset of COVID-19, solutions to combat climate change, biodiversity loss, and food insecurity are ever more urgent. And although it may seem unlikely to some, the world's gene banks and their impacts have a big part to play in contributing to such solutions. First of all, I'd like to talk about the program and why we think it is important. Our Gene Bank Impact Fellows help document the contributions of gene banks and the germplasm they conserve and distribute. They get to work on research projects, join workshops, are mentored by economists and conservation scientists. But what are impacts? Impacts are positive and negative, primary and secondary, directly or indirectly, intended or unintended, long-term effects produced by a development intervention. And what is impact assessment? They are studies that estimate the causal effects of research outputs and related activities on one or more development parameters of interest. The goal of the Gene Bank Impacts program is to show the causal effects from the gene bank, our intervention of interest, to development outcomes. Such outcomes could be improvements in yield, productivity, household income, or food security. To be able to establish this link, you could trace the pathway from the gene bank to the breeders and scientists in research programs to the development of new and improved varieties and release international seed systems, and eventually to the adoption of farmers. We show how farm productivity is improved, how farmers benefit from high yields, and consumers benefit from lower food prices and enhanced food security. Everyone's happy, right? Unfortunately, as in everything, it's not as easy as it seems. The flow of germplasm from the gene banks to breeders to farmers could take many years, and the effects to household welfare need additional time to materialize. It is a long-term process, and along the way, we need to isolate the factors that could affect this relationship both spatially and temporally. We can establish this causality by showing one or two anecdotes or success stories from a few individuals. This is where the Gene Bank Impacts program enters the picture. There has to be a body of literature that documents such links and establishes the causality and gene bank attribution using data from farm surveys complemented by data from the breeders and the gene bank's information systems evaluated using econometric techniques and other scientific methods. Sounds complicated, right? It is, but it is necessary. So now, when we talk about gene bank impacts, we can refer with confidence, for example, the contribution of Erie's International Rice Gene Bank to varietal improvement and crop productivity in eastern India, where we use a survey data set collected from about 9,000 farmers. Another study looked at the contribution of the SIA Gene Bank to the development of iron biofortified bean varieties and well-being of farm households in Rwanda using dataset of about 1,400 farmers. The studies by our Gene Bank Impact Fellows map out the variables and actors that could affect this causal relationship, so we could properly attribute the contribution of the gene bank. These results and the work of the fellows is an important stepping stone in understanding how we can meaningfully contribute to the change the world needs. I'd like to close by acknowledging the work from our Gene Bank Impacts community of practice. Thank you for being part of the solution, and thank you for your time.